Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Exceptional Life podcast for Exceptional Results Now. I am your host, Rasha Swify, and I am super excited today to be presenting to you my partner and friend, the founder and the CEO of Exceptional Results Now. We are a consulting and a coaching service that is designed to illuminate the path for exceptionalism, and that is through combining and aligning the four P's: purpose, people, profit, and planet. I am super excited to be talking today to my friend and the founder and the CEO of Exceptional Results Now, our very own Jason Safford. And today we are going to talk about the very subject of exceptionalism, what that means for us here at Exceptional Results Now, and what it means for you as an entrepreneur to create your own business plan and why that's important. So with that being said, I want to introduce a friend here, Jason Safford. And Jason, if you tell us what your thoughts are on what exceptionalism means to you and why we've decided, if you could just quickly share why we decided to call our business Exceptional Results Now.
Well, first, Rasha, I am very grateful for you and the opportunity to be able to do this podcast with you. And let's step back and first talk about how we connected and the opportunity, and really how exceptionalism evolved out of that. We were both uh, given the opportunity for business development with another organization.
Yes.
And what we recognized was the challenges and the lack of planning and communication in that organization. And we reached out to each other and we said,
Mm,
hey, what do you think here? How can we make it better? And we worked together to try and help that organization and realize that our effort and our planning and our work with each other was at a far greater level than that organization was willing to accept. And so we stepped back and we said, okay, maybe we need to do something together on our own. And
yeah.
and that was really where it evolved. And as we began to, sit down and talk to each other and we involved other people, and when those other people didn't match our energy or our enthusiasm or our level of knowledge in terms of how important planning is, we then realized, okay, we have to do this on our own. We wanted to do something together. We didn't know what it was, but we really just realized that between the two of us, we really wanted to take things to a higher level and not just be at a higher level, but be able to compete and dominate
Hmm.
a level.
Absolutely.
And so that's where I think that we want to start with the conversation. And now, in terms of myself, um, competing and dominating at the higher level of let's say business overall is something that I have been motivated to do personally since I was a young uh, teenager.
Mm,
And it's a matter of identifying the first most important thing is that you have to have a plan in your head, an idea that you can actually map out to what is the end goal,
hmm.
the mission. And in creating that mission, you then have to have an approach on a daily basis. How am I going to approach this plan? How am I going to approach this mission?
Hmm.
So, when we talk about exceptionalism, what we're really talking about is the approach to the plan that we create for the mission that we want to achieve. So let's step back and think about that again. The approach is our focus on a daily basis of how am I going to attack my plan to be successful at my primary mission. So now
Hmm.
let's think about it in terms of the entrepreneur and the fact that what is the one thing that you hear most people say about entrepreneurship and going into business? They say you don't need a business plan.
Right. I don't understand that, but yes.
Okay. And that is the one thing that those of us who have lots and lots of experience in business know is the biggest mistake you could make is not having a plan, not having a clear mission, not having a total focus on what it is that you're really trying to do.
Mhm.
So again, this word exceptionalism that we have appropriated in our company and why we're focused on exceptional results now is because we understand. And why do we understand it? Well, the word failure is also misunderstood because we look at it from the fact that somehow we've done something wrong or we've done something bad,
Right.
that we're not capable of achieving our goal.
Mhm.
Look at any type of success in life, and my favorite is always starting with the concept of walking. In order to walk, babies first have to wiggle their bottoms,
Yeah.
how to crawl.
Mhm.
Except in my son's case, where he literally tried to stand up and start walking before he even knew how.
Yay.
But outside of that personal experience, most
Yeah.
of us in life, the except for the rare exceptions, most of us in our lives have to learn to first crawl and then walk. And the process of
Mhm.
walking is something where you constantly are falling down in the beginning of your life because you're just trying to get your balance, number one, and
Mhm.
trying to see how far you can walk without falling, number
Right.
two. And then you're trying to see how fast you can walk without falling, and
Mhm.
trying to see whether or not you can do other things without falling while you're walking.
Right.
So it's not like we were born walking. We're failing constantly until we're not failing. And what makes us better is how we continue to push ourselves
Mhm.
to be good at that particular thing. So our mission is we want to be the best walker. We want to be able to do this without ever falling again. So we have to constantly push ourselves to be able to do that. So now going back to business, this idea of failure is one in which people fear that they're going to be judged for making a mistake, that they're going to lose all their money, that they're going to wind up bankrupt, and these
Mhm.
things are going to happen to them. And the truth is that, yes, that's a possibility.
Right.
And if you are afraid of that possibility, the first problem is you're not going to get started
Mhm.
because you're afraid of that possibility. The second thing is that if you don't have a plan and you don't have a mission and you decide, you know what, I'm going to take the chance. Well, the
Mhm.
reality of that possibility happening is that much higher because you didn't even sit down to think about how am I going to prevent these things from occurring.
Right.
So the importance of a plan on the pathway to exceptionalism, and I think this is the second thing that we really need to think about, is that exceptionalism isn't just something that you achieve. It's a journey. It's a lifetime effort. It's not
It's
something
consistent.
that is an end goal.
Yes.
You know, if you think about the fact that in 1969, 61 years ago, we put a man on the moon.
Mhm.
Now, the level of achievement that it took to put that man on a moon was years of planning that was accelerated by President Kennedy. And within less than a decade, whatever technology thinking that had occurred prior to him was condensed to make that effort happen within less than 10 years.
Mhm.
We haven't continued that. And so now, even though you can look at the efforts of Elon Musk and other entrepreneurs who've taken on this challenge by themselves and decided for themselves, you know what? We're going to push this ball forward. The exceptionalism, the opportunity for exceptionalism by our nation to really look at space exploration and look at the advancement of technology to pursue this hasn't been there.
Mhm.
Now it's a matter of, okay, well, are we really exceptional for what we've done? Or was that just a blip on the radar?
Right.
Because we really haven't pursued it as a journey of continuing forward. Now, that being said, the takeaways are that there was a clear mission in the beginning to put a man on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
He focused on that mission, and therefore, through effort, we were able to achieve it and do something exceptional. Because there's no clear focus, now there's no primary mission that we're focused on. The problem is that we don't know what to do to be exceptional because
Mm-hmm.
we don't have that clear focus. So therefore, we don't know what approach
Right.
to start with.
Right.
So going back to a business, in order for you to be successful in business, in order for you to truly reach a level of exceptional results, you have to have that primary mission. And then you have to have that plan for how you're going to attack that mission. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to really focus on your approach on a daily basis. What's working today? What's not working today? How do I change it? How do I change my approach to get the results that I want?
Mm-hmm.
See, our organization is called Exceptional Results Now because we're really focused on helping leaders at the executive level understand that the approach that they have been taking up to this point when they meet us has only gotten them so far.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. And then second of all, it's looking at their plan and their mission and really helping them to identify, are they really focused on their primary mission in a way that's going to not only get them the results, but create the impact that they truly want to have so that they can have the lifestyle, that they can have the freedom, that they can have the impact for their organization in the future? And everybody loves to use Steve Jobs and Apple as the shining example of what a company should be. But very few people really dissect the story and
How
understand
difficult it was.
not only how difficult it was, but the level of effort to
Mm.
change both Jobs and the people around him in terms of their plan and their approach.
Mm-hmm.
There's no denying that the technology and the organization behind Apple from the very beginning was focused on something that was highly, highly valuable. The problem was that their focus and their plan didn't match
Right.
what they wanted as their end result. And it was only through a constant number of failures and including being, in a sense, bailed out by their competition
Right. Right.
that actually started to deliver the results,
Mm-hmm.
because it was the recognition that, hey, we do have this incredible mission that we want to achieve in the future,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not going about it effectively. Our plan has flaws, and we've got to change our plan and change our approach until we start getting the results that we really want. And that is the humility of good leadership. So what I always love when people talk about Steve Jobs is that they fail to really recognize that what made him exceptional was his humility,
Mm-hmm.
that he was cast off by the company that he founded, and he had to go do something else for a while and come back with a different approach to his own organization. And in addition to that, he also had to learn to play the game differently, understand his value to the team, but also recognize that the value of other people in his organization may far outweigh his own, and be comfortable with that.
And that's when he aligned his purpose with the right people,
Right?
and making greater profits
That's right.
and making a greater impact on the planet.
You got it. You got it. And that was where, to bring it back to you and I, was
Mm-hmm.
hit it together was that you knew from listening to me and my focus on the green mind that this was something that I understood, that
Yeah.
the way forward was aligning people and planet for profit and purpose. And it was my difficulty up until I met you was the fact that I wasn't getting the message right. I knew what I wanted, but I wasn't getting it right. And I knew I needed a partner. And I sat down with you and I said, Rasha, listen, I know the value that you bring to the table. And I know that if we start working together, we're going to make great things happen. I don't know how to do it
Mhm.
yet, but if you're willing to work with me and you're willing to help me figure this out, I know that we're going to really have an incredible impact, but both based on what my mission is and the fact that I'm constantly working on a plan, but also
Yes.
because I saw that in you. You were also, someone who needs a plan and needs to constantly be working on that plan. And so therefore we had that alignment. And
Mhm.
of that was that we had a rapport where we could respect each other's willingness to change approaches.
Absolutely. And trust
Well,
that we can. Yeah.
that's what built out of it was the fact that we were willing
Right.
to give. And this is, I think that this is the most important thing for people to take as a tool from this first segment is the fact that the trust starts with yourself and the level of
Mhm.
that I saw in you and your level of trust in yourself and be willing to put yourself out there and make a mistake, both based on your background experience as an entrepreneur, what you had done with your own company, and accepting the failure wasn't a failure of effort. It was a failure of just how the marketplace was changing,
Right.
realizing that you needed to step back and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I need to, really change my approach and figure this out before I move forward.
Mhm.
So therefore, I saw that level of respect and trust that you had in yourself, and it aligned with me. In other words, that's what you saw in me. And,
Yes.
and my confidence in myself that, hey, I know I'm going to make mistakes. I have no fear that I'm going to make mistakes, but I also have no fear that the success is going to come on the other side of those mistakes. And
Mhm.
what I want is people that see that in me and say, I trust you because you trust yourself to keep going forward, even if you make mistakes.
Mhm.
And so,
Having the ability to recover. Yes.
exactly right. And so, therefore, it is a matter of when you think of the word exceptionalism, exceptionalism comes from that drive. That drive, it comes from that trust. And that trust comes from that willingness to accept that you're going to fail. And the more that you're willing to fail is the more you trust yourself
Right.
to get it right.
Right.
Think about the baby who learns to walk. Well, why are we able to walk? Because we trust ourselves to get up and keep
Mhm.
doing it again and again until we can do it as well, if not better, than everyone else. And going back to my son, as a perfect example, he learned to crawl backwards because he
Oh.
didn't want to crawl. He wanted to walk. And so eventually, he did walk. He was a very fast walker.
Mhm.
And he got to the point where, he's running and
Mhm.
he doesn't walk. As soon as he's got an opportunity to run, he's going to run. And for him, it was that trust in himself that it didn't matter whether or not he was failing. He was going to walk. He was going to walk better than his mom and dad. And he was eventually going to run. And that's where you're going to see him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's the first human to fly the way
Mhm.
that,
I love it. Yeah, me either. That's believable. I've seen him. That's believable.
so that I think is what people need to understand about exceptionalism is that it does start in your mind and you've got to get it down on paper and say, this is my primary mission. This is what I'm focused on.
Clear purpose. With no self-doubt.
That's right. And once you have that purpose, you've got to have a plan.
Mhm.
Then it's a matter of you've got to approach that plan every day and say, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? How can I make things better? And, one of the things that obviously, we train our coaches in house on, and you know this very well, is
Mhm.
that the exceptional lifestyle journey is all about starting with winning your day. And we
Mhm.
teach our coaches to understand that philosophy for themselves so that when they approach their mission, their primary mission in life, they're breaking it down to today, because you can only, focus on today, live this day as if it's your last, and
Right.
be grateful when you wake up every morning. But understand that your ability to accomplish more in a day is way far beyond your own expectations, especially when you sit down first thing in the morning and say, what is my primary mission? What is my goal for this month? What is my goal for this week? And what am I doing today to maximize that? And how am I doing it in a way that I'm maximizing my personal care, my professional focus, and taking care of those things that are important in life on a
Mhm.
daily basis?
Mhm.
Now, all of a sudden, you're rocking and rolling, and you can look at your approach on a daily basis of what am I doing? How can I improve it?
Mhm. Mhm.
So for us, obviously that's what we train our coaches on. We make sure that they're totally focused on really working on their plan on a daily basis. So
Yes.
they can help their, leaders and their organizations, to get those results. And, that comes back to, you and I looked at the word exceptionalism and decided this is what we want to focus on. And we even started, the best part of this, and we're going to go into our next segment with this, the fact
Mhm.
that we started with a manufacturing plant.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we did.
We
We
looked
did.
at what could we do for the country that would be valuable, and, an opportunity for us as business people to bring something back to America that we thought really could change, especially during this pandemic and
Right.
going on. And so we said, hey, let's just look at manufacturing and see if there's an opportunity for us to create a business,
Right.
be really exceptional.
Mhm.
And obviously we've decided on coaching and
Right.
and seeing how we can really build this out to help organizations. So if you're a manufacturer out there, just know that we are familiar with your industry, and we're very excited to work with anybody in the manufacturing industry. And if that was a good plug,
Yeah.
I'll use that to wrap up this first episode. Um, but Rasha, I'm going to turn it back to you from the standpoint of, when you got going with me in terms of really making this business exciting, what was it for you in hearing other people talk about the plans and opportunities going forward? Where did you, really see the opportunity for us to bridge what people don't understand in terms of why you need a plan with how it equates to success?
Well, for me, having had my own personal experience and building my own brand and seeing how things could change so quickly and unforeseen circumstance that could change the entire uh, culture and the life of a business, I saw that there was such a great need to combine what I felt was our own superpowers together. And even though I still think the manufacturer was a great idea, and um, a part of my heart still resides there, the reason that I still felt that this was even more timely for us, just because there's so many different businesses out there that need this kind of service. And being determined to having my own path, and living a life of exceptionalism, um, I wanted to see to it that we were impacting as many people as possible. outside of just our own great city in New York. I wanted to be out there nationally and even on a global level, helping as many people as possible through these changing times that we're living in that are impacting everything that we're doing, not just from the way that we do business, but even in our own homes, right? The way families are together now, or it's just different. Things are different. The way that we're being forced to change our own social life, everything is changing. So I wanted to be in a place with you where we're not just seeing that we're keeping each other on an exceptional path, because that's the type of lifestyle that we both want. And because our values and our missions do match up, we were able to do this together. But I also wanted to be in a position where we are impacting other people and basically replicating what we've been able to do with our coaches, and our coaches being able to help other coaches and business owners to be on that exceptional path, and whatever that means for them. Whatever success looks like to them. Like what success means to me may not mean the same thing to you, and vice versa. Right? And same thing for other people. Some people, it might mean a particular number in the bank. To someone else, it could mean the way their life looks with their own family. To someone else, it could just mean whatever the quality of the business that it's being offered to the world, right? Everyone has their own definition of what success is. But at the end of the day, if you do it at the best of your ability, and you stay consistent to it, and you stay true to it, and you stay true to yourself, that's when you'll be able to have a clear business plan. And that's when you will be able to say, you know what, I've done the best that I could do at this moment, providing an exceptional service, whether I am a housewife or whether I am the president of the United States. Either way, I've done the best that I could do. And that's really what we're about. And that's what we want to be able to do out there with everyone that either does business with us or partners up with us, or that we're just coming to in contact with. So yeah, that's what it means to me.
And I want to piggyback on that one last point, which is for the people who listen to this podcast and going forward, that they understand that the exceptional life is whatever you decide is your exceptional life, as long as you're doing it authentically.
Absolutely.
Understand that, empathy, intuition, creativity are the principles, and there's actually 5 of them, but I'm using those 3 because I really want to highlight that, love, empathy for other people is the most important. And prior to this company, when it was called, Green Your Mind, or the Green Mind Initiative, I had created the golden rule very differently. And I know I've shared it with you, and we'll go through it right now. But for most people, the golden rule is what you had learned in the Bible or somewhere, that you do unto others as you would have, them do unto you.
Yeah.
Treat other people well if you want to be treated well. And then in business, we learn that the golden rule is he who has the gold makes the rules.
Right.
That rule. But the truth is, that's how the world goes around. As people say, money makes the world go around.
Mm-hmm.
Truth is that if you truly want to be successful in life and you want to be exceptional, the golden rule is treat life like gold. And
Mm-hmm.
the rules. And when you break it down to the fact that you only have today, if you treat today like gold, and every person that you impact with this 24 hours that you have today, and you focus just on this moment right now and how positive you can be to the people around you,
Mm-hmm.
just with your physical presence, but using your mind, multiplying your value to as many people as possible with this day, with your effort, with your actions, with your plans,
Mm-hmm.
ideas,
Mm-hmm.
really putting everything into why was I put on earth?
Mhm.
What's
Perfect.
why?
Mhm.
How am I going to make that why happen for other people so they get to know me? Those are the things that we as an organization are focused on helping you with to really maximize it, so that you're not saying, okay, you know what, in 10 years, when I make all this money, then I'll be able to do something. No, you don't know if you're going to be around in 10 years. That's the
Right.
thing. You don't
Right.
want to have all this money in 10 years.
Right.
So we want you to get those results now, today. How do we build that plan in a way that every day from this day forward, you're working on your impact and you're making a difference, and it's building. You're putting, that equity in the spiritual bank and the emotional bank, in your real piggy bank, as well as in your physical development, your personal development. That's what we're about. And that's what the exceptional life is that you're working on it from today to being exceptional, to mastery of yourself, and therefore mastery of the world around you.
Mhm.
And, once people really understand that, the more you have that mission, that primary mission, and you create that plan and you work on that plan every day and it comes better, is the more that in 10 years, 20 years, whatever your goals are, you're going to far surpass them. And we as coaches, that's what our goal is. Whatever your
Mhm.
great, we want to blow those goals out of the water.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Once you're thinking big, and it's also really important, and you've touched on this. Um, we just need to go back to it for a moment, because I think one of the reasons that a lot of business owners, especially starting out, don't put things on paper because they think it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Or they're afraid that, well, I'm not 100% sure if this is really how I want to do it. But the fact is, it does not have to be perfect. It is designed to be changed, and it is supposed to change, because you're going to continue to grow, and you're going to get new ideas, and you're going to connect with more people that are going to align with your purpose and your mission, and they're going to change the way that you're doing things, and they're supposed to, so that you can continue to grow. And you're going to go back to the charting board, and you're going to change that business plan, but you still need to have something in writing so that you have an anchor to go back to. If
That's
you don't have that, this world is full of distractions, and you're going to soon forget, why am I doing this in the first place? And that a challenge would hit after a challenge, and it's going to get harder and more difficult, and it could be a dark and lonely road when you're starting out a business on your own, if you don't have the proper support system. That's why we designed Exceptional Results Now, because you never have to be alone. If you have the proper support and you have people that are backing you, that could show you the way, and they have done it before, you'll never have to be by yourself. You'll have the proper support, and you have the guidance that you would continue to go back and see how you want to give rebirth to this business. It's Entrepreneurship is a full contact sport. And if you are not properly trained, and you're not getting the proper coaching continuously with someone like Jason, even if you don't decide that to do business with us, you still have to get some coaching.
Yeah.
There is no athlete out there that has been able to accomplish anything without a coach. You have to have a coach. Someone has to help you.
Yeah.
So
Multiple coaches.
and if you don't choose Jason, I think you're missing out. But if you decide to go with Jason, that I know him from personal experience, this is the coach that you need to help you to get from A to skyrocket. And that's what you need. And that's and listen, what is the purpose of going into business if you're not going to skyrocket? Do you really just want to, like, a horse or carriage at this day and age? I just don't think that's gonna work. So if you're gonna do it, freaking do it. I'm very excited about what we're doing here, and I am looking forward to the greater success of our business, and just seeing how we could impact a lot of our people here locally, because I do love our state of New York, but then also, of course, going nationally and globally. But my heart is here, and I want to impact as many people as possible within our city. And please stay tuned for our next episode. We're going to be talking more and more about living the life of exceptionalism and having that exceptional life and what it means for you and not just for us. We're just here to help guide you. Jason, are there any final words that you would like to say before we close out?
Yes. Number one is at the beginning of my book, the quote is adequacy has no place in the pursuit of exceptionalism. And it's stolen from my music teacher in high school who had it up on his wall. At that
Mhm,
time, it said adequacy has no place in the pursuit of excellence. And I changed it to exceptionalism simply because of us and writing the book.
mhm,
Point behind it is that if you want to be adequate, you'll go forward without a plan. If you want to be exceptional, you understand that the only way to really achieve exceptionalism is to have a plan that you work at every day.
mhm.
That's how we'll
Absolutely.
this episode. And thank you, Rasha, for the opportunity and the plugs and the support and encouragement.
Of course.
So excited. And
Same here, same here. And I can't wait for our next episode. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining. And we look forward to having you join us on our next episode. Thank you so much.